Much and great to be in beautiful Chestnut Hill in Boston. An important game in the conference as we welcome you to ACC Primetime Football presented by Geico. It's 4-1 Boston College taking on 4-1 NC State at Alumni Stadium. This a special time in New England. Mid-October, wrapped in color. The sports scene is swirling. Red Sox in the ALCS, the Bruins, the Patriots, and some excitement over BC football too. The Eagles facing a Wolfpack team that defeated Clemson in double overtime, while BC let that chance slip away from them on a last-second turnover at Death Valley. And both of these teams are coming off a bye week. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Dave O'Brien alongside former Boston College star Tim Hasselbeck. Kelsey Riggs will be joining us from field level in just a moment. Nothing real flashy about these two offenses, Tim. They kind of strap it on and get after it. They love their offensive lines.
They're tough, physical football teams. So this is going to be a bit of a throwback. Both teams, really it's their identity, kind of offshoots of their head coach. They love running the football. You think about North Carolina State, it's Bam Knight and Ricky Person to do most of the running, and they've got an outstanding offensive line. And when you think about Boston College's defense, that's Jeff Hafley's expertise, and they are playing with a ton of confidence on the defensive side. You think about BC, it's been the identity of their football program, running the football. It's Pat Garwo who gets most of their carries, and it's a veteran offensive line group that does an excellent job. But North Carolina State defensively has done an excellent job all season long. They have been hard to run the football on. I would think that would be the case as well tonight.
Well, the Wolfpack had that huge double overtime win over Clemson. Kelsey, are they getting their due for that win?
Well, if you ask their head coach, Dave Doran, the answer on a national stage is no. They're still not getting the respect that he would like them to have at this point. He says for him, he's been the underdog before, but he wants that respect and the credit for his players. And he knows to get that, they have to keep performing well, just chopping away 1 week at a time. When I talked to his players about it, they said they see it, they feel it, they hear it, but they do not focus on it. They told me for them, at the end, they focus on themselves, not the opponent, and they'll look back and see where they all stand when it's said and done.
All right, Kelsey, thank you very much. NC State lost their only road game to date. They haven't been on the road since the 11th of September. It is homecoming here for Boston College. They're expecting a crowd of about 40,000. We are also anticipating perhaps some weather and some showers coming in. Tim, it's windy down there to begin. You were down on the field just a little while ago.
Being down on the field pregame, there's no doubt that I felt like wind could end up being a factor. And then if it ends up being wet as well, Dave, it'll be interesting to see how both of these quarterbacks are able to handle the football.
Now, the Pack's strength certainly has been its defense, right? They've allowed just one rushing touchdown. They are number 2 nationally, and they sit at the very top of the ACC in total defense. Boston College winning the toss. They defer. NC State to receive as we get this thing underway. And that's going to sail right through the back of the end zone. It'll come out to the 25. And so Devin Leary, the kid from New Jersey, has a lot of friends and family here. He's a Northeastern kid. Started in high school. Man, did he ever. Greatest passer in high school history in New Jersey, making his 14th career start.
And you look at that touchdown to interception ratio. He's playing really great. And you see him standing with Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, 3 years in a row for him, and 9 touchdowns. No interceptions the last 3 games. Talk about Dave Doran being frustrated. His team maybe isn't getting the recognition they deserve. Devin Leary would be at the top of that list for the Wolfpack.
Big game in the conference. Someone's going to come out of here with 5 wins and be in a real nice position moving forward here. Little pass here for Thomas, trying to get to that sideline. He's dragged down. An 8-yard pickup. And a flag on the play. And, of course, the Eagles having to sit on that crushing loss at Clemson for 2 weeks thanks to the bye week.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle on the defense, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
Thomas is getting to the sideline, and to be honest, I don't know. It looked like Woodby's arm is over in front of that shoulder. To me, that's not a horse collar tackle. Inside the pads or on the nameplate.
Yeah, very sketchy. Penalty on the FSU transfer. So moves the football up big time. He's going to fire it. It's Thomas again. Takes a good hit. He picks up the first down. And the Wolfpack immediately moving the football. It's a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, and a simple RPO. Fake the run action, pull the ball out, and it's an inside slant to Thayer Thomas, who's a really good slot player for North Carolina State.
Leary wants to go fast here on this opening drive for NC State. Now a bit of a delay. Coaches love his toughness. They love how he stays in the pocket. First down and 10. And it's Knight with the carry, trying to get outside. Found a bit of a hole as the rain begins to come down pretty steadily now for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and that was the first thing I was thinking as that ball was being snapped, Dave, is that, this rain that we thought we might see, it definitely turned into a rain, not just a mist. So it looks like it will be dealing with a wet ball all night.
So it could be a very big night for Bam Knight, Ricky Person, those two backs. They split the carries just about evenly. They're going to step up in the pocket. They're going to take him down, though. He has dropped at the 40-yard line. That was Marcus Valdez, who has one sack on the year coming in. Give him another.
Yeah, and Valdez is an effort player. He's just going to win on a speed rush out here. And, Boston College has not been able to get a ton of sacks. They've generated some pressure on the quarterback, but getting him down has been an issue. Valdez, a player with a lot of experience, plays with great effort, does a good job of getting home.
So brings up third down, 3rd and 9 on his first drive of the night. Leary has been very reliable. He's made very, very few mistakes. He's going to go airborne, looking long, and that one is going to be caught and into the end zone. What an amazing catch by Carter. Devin Carter, how did he catch that football? And it looked like BC had given up on the play, and he waltzed in a 40-yard strike. What a catch.
Well, Elijah Jones has perfect coverage. He's right there with Carter, doesn't get his head around. It's almost like Carter initially nearly pins it on Elijah Jones's back. Never locates the football, probably thought it was incomplete. But wow. Carter with great concentration and to do it with the rain coming down.
Great concentration, amazing hands, and the extra point is good. And what a touchdown. Dunn sticks it. Well, this is a big play receiver. Look at this play.
Big play receiver, man coverage. Devin Carter just sticking with it, able to come down with it. The Wolfpack get out to an early lead.
Just got a call from the Sports Center Top 10. They said, could you send us Devin Carter's catch, please?
I think they already have it loaded for tonight's show, and it's actually really good coverage. The ball's not thrown that great. It's left inside, but Carter locates the ball. Elijah Jones does not, and then it's almost like Elijah Jones thinks the ball must have been incomplete because
Sure.
He kind of stops.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was disbelief, and they gave up on it. So BC will get the football for the first time here tonight, down 7-0. And that means Dennis Grosel to go to work. In fact, he got his first career start 2 years ago against NC State and got the win. 6'1", about 220 out of Ohio. Passed for over 300 yards in the loss at Clemson, Tim, but he did not play a good game. He was intercepted 2 times and fumbled on the last play.
Really the difference in the football game, in my opinion. He's had his moments. Last year against Virginia, threw for all kinds of yards. Over 300 against Clemson, nothing wrong with that, but he's got to eliminate the turnovers.
As the talented Garwo in the backfield, but that one should have been caught. That was Jaden Williams right off the hands. Right in his kitchen.
And that can't happen for Boston College. Dennis Grosel needs the guys around him to play better. And Williams, who they think is going to be a star here at BC, is wide open on the in-cut. It's a nice play call. Ball's right there, catch and run opportunity, and he just drops the football.
Be careful, of course, with the secondary for NC State. As a defense, they have picked off the football 7 times. Second down and 10. He wants to go to the air again. And Lewis gets stuck. C.J. Lewis with the catch, but Pitts there to say hello, and that gains only 1 yard.
Yeah, and Derek Pitts makes a nice play. The transfer from West Virginia, or Marshall, he's from West Virginia. You know, he knows Tony Gibson's system, does a nice job there on Gill. And Boston College, first 2 plays of the game, come out throwing the football, probably trying to get their quarterback in a rhythm.
But look at how good the Wolfpack has been, forcing 3 and outs 49% of the time. Number 3 in FBS. 3rd and 9. Grossell moving those feet, dumps it off short, and they're going to pick up that first down and a whole lot more on a big carry here after the catch by Levy. That goes for 27. Finally bottled up by Boykin, but a big gain.
It's a fantastic job by Dennis Grossell. He's looking to get a corner out to his right. Doesn't like it. And doesn't move into trouble. Does a nice job of navigating the pocket. And then he finds Levy. Sometimes a check down on 3rd and long with the underneath coverage playing so soft can turn into big plays like it does there.
Was Boston College with the loss of their star quarterback, Jerkovic. They felt that in that defeat at Clemson. Certainly is out for the year with a hand injury. There's Garwo, huge hole as he barrels ahead, and a nice gain of 8 for Pat Garwo. Had 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a great win against Missouri here.
Yeah, he's a tough runner, and check this out. This is Zay Flowers, their star wide receiver. Look at him on this split zone play, kicking out on a linebacker. Dave, you said at the top of the game, it's going to be a tough football game. You know, put your mouthpiece in, buckle your chin strap. Well, how about that for your star wide receiver blocking a linebacker in the run game?
You mentioned that Tyler Vrabel is out along that offensive line, and it's going to be picked up. And on the run, Grossell is going to take the sideline and scamper out. And he'll scoop it, pick up 10.
That's a bad sign for North Carolina State. Quarterback fumbles a snap. He picks up the football and runs for 10 yards. Those are the types of things. If you're a good team, you're a ranked team inside the top 25 like NC State is. Like plays like that, when teams make mistakes, you need to be able to capitalize on it.
Wolfpack coming in, number 22. Man in motion is Flowers. Grossell gets it to him on the near side. He evades a couple of tacklers. He can certainly do that. He can break some ankles with his footwork, and that'll gain just 3.
He sure can. Look at the move he puts on Tanner Engel, who has been described to us as a human missile, the way he likes to run around and tackle. And Zay Flowers, a guy that just needs to touch the football as much as possible for Boston College. Dave Doran even said, you know, they typically don't get players the caliber of number 4, and I think he's right.
His 24th reception, has a couple of touchdowns this season. Going to stay on the ground, and look at that burst of speed and power out of Garwo. He's taken down close to the 5-yard line. Big first down and a crunching hit. He really stuck it to Drake Thomas, and White will miss the tackle.
Hey, you might need to buckle 2 chin straps to play in this football game, because Pat Garwo isn't trying to run around anybody as he just runs over Aiden White, the freshman corner.
1st and goal. It's Garwo trying to get off to the right side, but they snuffed that one out quickly. Jakeem Harris, sophomore out of Savannah, Georgia, there to meet him, and they're going to lose a yard. Now Boston College with the rain beginning to fall again. Garwo in the backfield. They want to go quickly. Little play action. Now on the move. The quarterback will loft that one to the end zone, and he just threw it out. With the pressure on him. Good pressure by Pitts again.
You know, when BC trying to use tempo with big people down inside the 10-yard line, probably expecting to get man coverage, get some type of pressure look. Instead, NC State plays soft, nowhere to go with the football, and got to throw it away now, 3rd and goal.
From the 8-yard line. On 3rd down. firing for the end zone, and a touchdown. Right into the hands of big Trey Berry, the 6'6" tight end for 6.
Trey Berry has been a really nice find for Boston College. Grad transfer, you mentioned, Dave, is a big target, and he was working on a 6'1" linebacker, Jalen Scott.
And the ACC shakes a little bit because Boston College may have found another big-time tight end. Trey Berry's been big lately.
He's been big. The running game's been big because it's Pat Garwo running over defenders, and then a great job of getting your body inside by Trey Berry. Boston College ties it up.
ACC Network Primetime Football is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
It is the first Saturday night game here in over 1,000 days, and the BC fans responding. Jeff Hafley wanted them out early. He said, come off the tailgating, get into the stadium. It'll be our first, with our new regime, our first night game with people. We had a couple of cool night games last year with cardboard fans. It should be rocking, and they were on that drive, which was 10 plays, 75 yards.
Yeah, it sounds like the student section has heard Jeff Hafley's call for, hey, come enjoy this environment. You didn't get to do that a year ago. And I think he understands as he has been trying to build back this Boston College football program. There are things outside of just coaching X's and O's that he can attack to try to make this experience better.
And for more on that, let's get down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, you talked to the players about what it means to have an atmosphere like this, and they definitely felt it after the Missouri game and the storming of the field, and it gave them some extra energy. You're also talking right now about Jeff Hafley and him pleading to the students to come out early. The first thing he did when he ran out of the tunnel was look right across the field, right underneath where you guys are sitting. The whole lower bowl section is full. He went over there and got the crowd amped up and is excited to see them all here.
Were the fans rushing the field when you were playing here?
I thought they weren't, and I thought that he was trying to get us pumped up, Dave. I thought that he was coming towards us. No?
I think we were already there. NC State trying to get to the center of the line in a big pile, a 2-yard gain. And the stop by Isaiah Henderson out of Brooklyn, New York. And by the way, BC leads the all-time series 10-7. It began way back in 1936 when BC won the first meeting. It was played at Fenway Park. 7-3. It was a baseball score. It was 3 years before Ted Williams appeared on the scene for the Red Sox. We had a big day in the American League Championship Series. 2nd down and 8. Tied 7-7 here in the first. And the carry will be Ricky Person this time, and they're going to find him pretty quickly. Nowhere to run there. Person taken out by Brandon Barlow, the 5th-year man. And a loss of a yard.
Yeah, and Barlow does a good job. Just look at him kind of set the edge, get outside, and then everybody is running to the football for BC. And defensively, a lot of energy so far from the Eagles.
Brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Wolfpack. So some pressure on Devin Leary to answer. He's got Person in the backfield with him. And let's see what he has cooked up here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and a long one and a catch. Right along that sideline, and an outstanding grab. And Mezzi, was he in bounds? And they're going to say now, no, he was not. Oh, I'm not so sure.
It looks like it's the re-catch. He doesn't catch it the first time. If he would have caught it initially, like right there, then yes, I think he had a chance. But because of the re-grip, he's out of bounds. And Brandon Sebastian, I will say, has been a guy that's been tried a few times, and he has risen to the occasion for BC playing corner.
Yeah, he's done it before, too. He had a game-sealing pick in overtime against Missouri.
Yeah, and he's a guy that played a lot of press man coverage, and you're going to get tested when you do that. And He delivers.
So Gill to punt, and got up a long one here. Driving back Levy as it takes a hop inside the 10. He's going to down it, trying to come out. Made the catch and then scampered out. 65-yard punt by Trenton Gill, the ACC leader, coming in at 46.3.
Well, I was going to say, he's quite a weapon. As we talk about how good NC State's defense has been, and really think about how efficient Devin Leary's been, it's easy to forget and kind of leave out what they've done on special teams, but that was an absolute missile right there, and now has BC backed up.
So first down 10 for the Eagles. And a long way to go with Garwold, the running back. He'll take the handoff. Big hole. He's across the 20. He avoids another tackler across the 30-yard line. Not a big gainer. Finally, Jalen Scott with the stop, but it's a 20-yard scamper.
And this is what happens when big backs get going. It's blocked really well up front. You get into the second level. And guess what? That's Aiden White, who got run over on the previous drive. A little less eager to go stick his face mask in there, and then there's Garwold getting behind him.
First down, once again. It'll be Garwold reversing field. They're going to drag him down. So no gain there. Tanner Ingle with the tackle. We talk about the fact that the Pack is looking to maintain that excellence on defense despite some big losses. Peyton Wilson is out. Cyrus Fagan is out. Linebacker and strong safeties both out for the season. He also had lost the nose tackle C.J. Clark. They've been able to overcome that to this point in the season. Grossell running away from some pressure and off the fingertips of Zay Flowers. He could not hang on. We're tied 7-7.
You think about this for BC. That's the second receiver drop that we've seen. First it was Williams, then there Zay Flowers. We've seen Grossell fumble a snap. Garwold just put the ball on the turf. And so Boston College, I think, is flirting with disaster a little bit with how they're handling the football.
3rd and 10, and that wind is really a factor, really whipping up here in the first quarter. On 3rd and 10, and blown dead. A flag down at about the 32-yard line.
False start. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Ben Petrula, remember that outstanding offensive line. I think a lot of people in the ACC believe these are the two best O-lines head-to-head tonight.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement because it's not just one guy. It's the collective group across the board. And honestly, even when somebody gets hurt, the next guy that can come fill in.
3rd down, 15 for Grossell. Good time to throw. Rifles that pass, and it's going to be caught for a first down. And a big catch by Jalen Gill, the Ohio State transfer.
This is Frank Signetti, offensive coordinator for Boston College, just having confidence in a quarterback that struggled 2 weeks ago. Because here's an in cut, in the rain, in the wind, a ball he struggled throwing 2 weeks ago at Clemson, and Grossell with a strike to Gill for a big first down conversion.
18 yards. Moving the football here. Gill has been a little bit underutilized, only his 5th reception. That may change here tonight. Some play action. Grossell throwing again, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Jaden Williams, the talented freshman.
Yeah, and it's another opportunity. Here's what's going on. Boston College clearly is trying to get opportunities for Williams because he's just so talented. They think that he can kind of be similar to Zay Flowers, and an in-cut earlier to start the game, and then that one there is a perfect throw by Grossell. Catch and run opportunities too, and with his speed, who knows what happens. But that's the second drop for the young freshman.
Yeah, he's caught 10 passes, 3 of them for touchdowns this season. He'll stay on the ground and tripped up. It's going to be Alex Sinkfield. and stopped by Isaiah Moore, who had a great game against Clemson for NC State. Wearing that number 1 again, very special for the Wolfpack. You've got to be a special player to be honored to wear it.
And that's why when they talk about their defense, they describe him as the heartbeat of their D. And, you know, with the season-ending injury to Peyton Wilson, their linebacking crew, I think, was looking for a bit of a new leader, and they definitely have it in Isaiah Moore.
A big call at the 45. And here come the Wolfpack. He's going to unload it. A lot of contact there, and the flag is down. That'll be interference. Williams drawing that penalty on Pitts. And an easy flag to drop in a 7-7 game here in the first.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
As mentioned on Derek Pitts.
Well, here's the deal. It's all out blitz. Here come the safeties from depth, which means it's man-to-man coverage everywhere with no help anywhere else on the field. And so it's a good job of Dennis Grosel recognizing it and going back to Jalen Williams, a player with a ton of speed, giving him a chance. He draws the PI.
First down 10, and flags again. A fairly high number of penalties early.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So BC to back up as they bid for their 5th win of the season. They're in homecoming. And of course, when they did lose to Clemson, they were coming off that very emotional victory over Missouri in overtime. And they were backing up Clemson, backing them up until that last second turnover that cost them a chance. Grosel will roll and fire, and he is going to hit his man, gets a receiver open, and that's going to be just a 2-yard gain. They pick it up to Witter for a quick hitter.
Yeah, and I think that he's actually throwing this ball to Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is out on the flat, and then you have that slide route by Witter. See how he's going to go reach for it. I actually think he was throwing it to Flowers, but Witter, a big guy with a good wingspan, and picks it. I think the coach is like, look, we'd rather 4 have it than 81.
Rather right? 4 have it than anybody else on the field. We thought we made that clear. Second down 13. Grosel going short and caught by Garwo. Garwo can't really get anywhere. Dragged down by Drake Thomas.
You know, Dave Doran's been a little bit frustrated on the sideline because there's been, 3 3rd and longs that Boston College has been in tonight, and you see Grosel on 3rd down, whether it was the penalty or a big pickup on an in cut. This is really where NC State's trying to get you, is these 3rd and long situations, try to blitz your protection, but Boston College has handled it well so far.
And where NC State has been as good as anybody in the country so far this season. 3rd and 10, pressure. He gets away somehow, still on his feet. A flag down as he is taken down, but there is a flag dropped again. And Grosel, a little bit of a Houdini act there, only winds up losing yards.
Holding. Offense number 77. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Yeah, that went against the guard, Zion Johnson. And decline, 4th down and 15. And the punting unit on for Boston College.
You think about it for BC, a couple of false starts, a holding penalty, some drops. It's been a sloppy start offensively for them, and I really think that, when playing in your own building, those are the types of things you're not expecting to happen.
BC able to down that right around the 1.5-yard line. So a long drive coming up here, potentially for the Wolfpack. Brandon Sebastian downing it around the 1-yard line moments ago. Special teams getting after it.
It's a nice punt. Good job of Sebastian of getting behind the football, and seen a couple of good special teams plays so far.
Yes. 44-yard punt. So Devin Leary taking over, has a long way to go here. First and 10, 7-7 game. And a flag dropped again. We have had a bevy of those here in the first quarter.
Ball start. Offense. Number 88. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's a big 2-inch penalty, Dave.
Huge. 2:37 left in the quarter. Leary has a lot of friends and family in the stands. He's a Northeast kid out of New Jersey. Keeping it on the ground, they stack him up very close to the goal line and push him back and into the end zone. Forward progress here, and a stop by De Palma. Van Knight with the carry and was able to advance it 1 yard.
It's a bad feeling for a quarterback to be standing back in your own end zone and you're just trying to create some room. I mean, the idea is at a minimum, get a first down so you can punt. And that's really the objective sometimes when you're backed up.
Knight the carry again, slightly larger hole this time, but really not much. Straight on to Palma, meets him once again, a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and Boston College actually played a little bit of coverage there, which they haven't typically been doing. They've been playing press man, cover one, challenging the receivers. Played a little bit softer that last play on second down. I'd expect them to do the same here on 3rd and 7.
So, very large early call here for the Wolfpack. Backed up inside their own 5-yard line. He'll want to throw it. He gets that out short. And Thomas trying to scoot ahead, but only made it to the 5. Next was Ricky Person and Josh DeBerry, the man to stop him, a 1-yard gain, and they're going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, and Boston College, I just mentioned they playing so much man coverage. They actually jump out of it and play zone there. And because you're throwing a little bit of a wide route to Person, so many defenders with their eyes on the football able to rally and make the play.
Levy back at the 40-yard line for the Eagles. And Gill gets this one pretty short. That will take a hop. And across the 50-yard line, it'll be down after what turned out with the bounce to be a 51-yard punt. Now, Coke Zero Sugar and Wendy's are proud supporters of college football. Best combo ever. Great to have you with us here at Alumni Stadium, Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. Number 22 NC State and Boston College. Dave O'Brien, Tim Hasselbeck, and Kelsey Riggs with you tonight. Tied up 7-7, last 31 seconds of the first quarter. And Boston College back to work in good field position. Rossell has had a couple of drops here in the first quarter. Actually 3 altogether. On the pitch. They're going to keep it on the ground. That's Garwo with the carry, but nothing doing there.
I think it's important for Boston College to stay on schedule. We've seen them with a couple false starts, end up in 3rd and long, and truthfully, it's just not where they want to live. That's not how their team is built. I think, just doing more things to stay on schedule, to have manageable 3rd downs is really, I'm sure, what they're going to talk about the break here after the first quarter.
And that is the end of the first. Some fireworks in this one, tied 7-7.
Seen a good one, physical football game, and I think it's going to continue after the break.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff. Run it.
Back at Chestnut Hill Alumni Stadium, Boston College with the football. And they just said hello to the class of 2020 at BC on the big board because, of course, nobody could say hello to them last year. There was nobody here.
It was almost like a standing ovation to recognize them. Like, sorry, you had to.
Yes.
That was your senior year.
Yes, they got a rousing ovation. So the Eagles on the move. Garwo with a little bump. Nobody took him down on the first hit. They do on the second. And he'll gain just 1 yard. Going a long way for that. Drake Thomas with the tackle.
Been a few times where we've seen Garwo have to reverse field after getting bottled up, and it's really not his game. His game is getting downhill, being a physical runner, running through arm tackles, and I think NC State's done a good job of kind of stopping that initial momentum.
Replaced now in the backfield by Travis Levy, the graduate out of Maryland. 3rd down and 9. Rossell winding up, might have been tipped, and it's incomplete and out. And indeed, a tipped pass. So 4th down and 9.
Yeah, you just see the pressure inside the pocket because Flowers, kind of running a comeback there, does a good job of getting separation, and he's wondering where's the football. But here's the pressure. They're coming on a blitz, and you just see Rossell kind of not able to follow through with the football as that pocket just collapsed.
So Carlson on the punt, and Thayer Thomas, one of the best in the ACC at returning them, planted back at the 10-yard line for the Wolfpack. And a 7-7 game, early seconds of the second quarter. And he will launch this one and will drop down and into the end zone. 50-yarder. So the offense back on the attack. Ike Ekwonu, the left tackle, our Geico player spotlight. One ACC coach said he's got that thing you cannot teach.
Well, he's nasty, he's athletic, he's big. He played guard for part of his career. He's played tackle. He's playing tackle now. Mel Kiper Jr. has him rated as the #1 guard prospect, but he's a really good player, and both teams recognize it. In fact, Tim Lebuku basically said, look, I tried to hide some of his blocks that on tape from my defensive players.
Some of the pancakes. Trying to eliminate those, but it's tough to do. There's so many of them. They will stay on the ground here on the carry. Off to that near side, it's Person. And kind of tugging at that leg a little bit, but that's a pad issue.
Hey, well, guess who's leading the way? Look at the big fella, Icky. Elijah Jones is like, nah, man. Like, hey, I don't want any of that. I certainly don't want to end up on your pancake reel.
Person trying to pick his way through the line. Did a nice job finding a hole there as he dives ahead. And we'll pick up 5 yards. Josh DeBerry will get the tackle.
And we've seen this, Dave. The left side, even though Chandler Zavala, who is out for this game, who's their typical starting left guard, Dylan McMahon will slide over to left guard, and they want to run the football left with Ekwonu over there. McMahon now at left guard, and Grant Gibson, a very athletic center, in the middle.
Yeah, Gibson's outstanding, one of the country's best. Ekwano's going to be an All-American. You could write that down. Nowhere to run on that carry, however. In fact, they will get nothing or close to it on the carry by Person.
And it was 3 straight runs to the left side. And Ezaraku, who's a nice player, a freshman, he's been active for them. Does a good job of fighting through contact, and he's a good-looking young player for BC.
3rd down 5. The rain has been off and on. That's probably going to be the case all night long. Although the wind has been pretty fierce. Empty backfield here. Leary facing 3rd and 5. And a timeout.
Timeout. North Carolina State. First of this half.
So Dave Doran takes one. We're tied 7-7. Welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football, presented by Geico. NC State calling a timeout moments ago by Dave Doran. He and Jeff Hafley, the BC head coach, not only friends. Jeff Hafley told us that Dave Doran, a long time ago, tried to hire him when Jeff was in the NFL. He wanted him on his staff.
It seemed like the respect was sincere and genuine from both guys.
Larry short. It's Person. Person with some room to operate down that sideline as he picks up the first down and plenty more. 15-yard gain. Chased out by DeBerry.
That's a really cool play call. They're going to move the back, and when they move the back, Salah ends up being in coverage, and he just gets lost. He basically needs to peel with the back, and he doesn't. And so DeBerry ends up just reacting and then trying to make a play on Person, but nice play call.
Person, good hands, obviously great wheels. Now the short one's going to be dropped and scooped up. That's Carter, able to retain a 9-yard gain, but he dropped it initially after making the catch.
Kind of a weird play. Almost had to look for a second. Did he catch it? And he does. It's an RPO. Leary gets to him late. And it's almost like he never really secures the football. For a guy who makes a great catch earlier in the night, gonna put that one in harm's way.
Brings up 2nd down and 1. And let's see what they're doing here. Taking a look.
The rolling on the field was a catch, then a fumble recovered by NC State, and that play is under further review.
So what do you think? I mean, looking at it again, did he have possession?
Seeing it live, I thought he caught it and fumbled it, which is the call on the field. Not sure that ball's ever put away.
ACC Network Primetime Football, presented by Geico, is brought to you by new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Try the best combo ever today.
So the series, they've met 17 times. Of note, in 07, Tom O'Brien, who had once been head coach here at BC but left for NC State, faced his former team for the first time. First time they ever played was at Fenway Park, as mentioned, in 1936. And Fenway open for business on Monday, which will be Game 3 of the ALCS. They are closing in on evening that series. They have a 9-5 lead against Houston in the bottom of the ninth.
Such a cool stadium.
No catch, by the way, on the review, so it was incomplete. Knight with the carry, but can't get much. He'll pick up one hard-earned yard there.
You know, it's interesting that, to go back to that catch, the ball just never seemed like it was put away, and so they overturn it, and now
flag down. Oh. A lot of penalties in this one. I know that Dave Doran made a point of bringing in officials to throw flags during his practices in the spring, and again the later workouts in the summer, trying to cut down the penalties. That's worked.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 52 on the offense. The down will count, and it's a 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's on the offensive lineman, Timothy McKay, 6'4", 300-pound freshman out of Raleigh.
Yeah, and I didn't see it, but I saw the flag late, and McKay, who rotates in at tackle, they've been moving guys around, and now all of a sudden 3rd and 10, which you have a chance to convert. Now you end up in 3rd and 24, and there isn't really a play call for 3rd and 24.
11 minutes to go before halftime. The BC faithful trying to make a difference here tonight. And here's Leary back to throw. Good time off the hand of Person. He was open, but incomplete. And so the Wolfpack will have to punt with 10:54 left here in the first half.
And you just get the sense that the longer Boston College is right there with a team like NC State, the more their confidence grows. We saw it when they played Clemson. Because they're striking distance and the way they're coached, there's just a confidence about them that they feel like they can get it done. And I think that NC State continuing to have penalties like that, or not being able to convert on 3rd downs, it's like energizing the student section. I think it's energizing the Boston College sideline.
I thought Coach Rick had the perfect comment right after that Clemson game, BC Clemson. He said, you got cheated. As a fan, you got cheated not to see an ending to that game, like a tip pass, an interception, or a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. That the 11-yard line and don't field the snap, that obviously wasn't the ending that I think anybody wanted to see. other than a Clemson fan, but they're hanging around.
On the handoff, it's Sinkfield. Sinkfield has open field across the 30. And he is pushed to the sideline after a nice gain. Talk about a burst of speed for 22 yards. Alex Sinkfield.
Well, he's just coming off of left tackle here, and they do a good job of caving it all down. And it's a really good job of sliding up inside there, and then good speed by Sinkfield. And all of these Boston College running backs, I think, have great patience and great vision. And I think it's because they trust their offensive line so much, and you can see why.
Flowers in motion. Sinkfield again. Big time carry. Another healthy gain. This goes for 26 yards. Jalen Scott.
And this time, yeah, it's Zion Johnson who's going to pull from here and get a block. And this is essentially, power football. Block down, pull a guard around. It's a good job, and he's not touched until he gets into the secondary. And Boston College, you make this type of, you'll get this type of movement running the football. NC State's going to have to come up with some type of response to get somebody else involved in the run game.
Sinkfield staying low to the ground. They want him to run it again. He's 5'9", about 205 from Boynton Beach, Florida. And for more on the running backs, we toss it down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of these Boston College players about the run game. And when you ask them about the running game, every single one of them lights up. Dennis Grosel says these guys had a chip on their shoulder last year, that they didn't meet the expectations that they had for themselves, and you're seeing it pay in dividends this year. He also says it's not the other running back, it's another one, no matter who's in.
Second down 9. And this time it's Garwo. And we'll run it. How about Grosel, by the way, throwing the football? 7 completions to 7 different receivers. They're really mixing it up.
Yeah, they're spreading the football around. There's no doubt about that. And, to kind of just finish up on Kelsey's point, BC really didn't run the football well a year ago, which I think is surprising. They had good backs and, obviously Phil Dracovic and more explosive offensively, but they wanted to get back to more balance. They've done that even prior to the Grosel injury. And it really is kind of what they should do based on the makeup of their football team.
Well, whistles here and a timeout. Wolfpack.
Timeout. NC State.
NC
Second
State
of this half.
will take number 2, 8:15 to go in the first half. Well, the Eagles facing a 3rd down 7, second quarter, 8:15 to go.
Both of these offenses have been living in 3rd and long tonight, which is probably, creating massive headaches for both Tim Beck and Frank Cignetti. Probably run out of their 3rd and long calls already at this point in the game.
Well, you got the distinct feeling this week as that one's bobbled a bit, but he recovered. He fires it, and a great catch. Outstanding play by Jalen Gill. And we'll pick up the first down. Got the feeling, talking to the NC State coaches, they wanted to force Grosel to throw the football.
Yeah, and he's thrown it well. That one's bobbled. Doesn't even have the laces. Able to get the ball out. Perfect location for Gill because Tyler Baker Williams, he's a really fine player, had excellent coverage.
So Grosel 8 out of 13, 72 yards and a touchdown. And on play action, he's going to run and lob that one out with pressure. And NC State on the chase. That was Jalen Scott, 6'1", 245-pounder from Shelby, North Carolina.
And Boston College was trying to shot play first down, make it look like run, and try to create an opportunity for either C.J. Lewis or Zay Flowers down the field, and NC State wasn't falling for it.
Alex Sinkfield is the back. He has churned some tremendous runs already. Flowers in motion. Pass over the middle, and it's going to be jarred loose and incomplete. C.J. Lewis there, and took the hit. Devin Boykin, the man to lay it on him.
Yeah, Boykin, the freshman safety, does an excellent job there. C.J. Lewis Coming in, he's open, ball's on a good location. Does an excellent job keeping his head out of the play. Good job with his shoulder. It was well done.
And a flag down. It's going to be roughing the passer here. So big call. Take a look.
Oh, man.
That is Daniel Joseph, the linebacker.
Yeah, and he's roughing the passer. It's got to be forcible contact. I don't know if we can look at it again, but to me, that does not look like forcible contact.
Not at all.
To a quarterback.
Moves it to the 21-yard line. And a handoff, Sinkfield straight ahead. And a dive for 4 yards on that gain. Jalen Scott stops him. Tied 7-7.
And now BC's got a little bit of life here because of that roughing play, and good run on first down. I would expect Boston College a run, a move the pocket play. Try to give them a chance for another goal-to-goal situation like they had earlier in the first quarter.
See if Sinkfield gets another touch. Flowers on the move. Such a dangerous wide receiver. Sinkfield again, right to the center of the line. And taken down at the 15. So 3rd and 3.
This is where I think a move the pocket play. When you identify the things that Dennis Grosel has done well, it's when the ball comes out quickly or you can get him on the move. And 3rd and 3, you could run the football, but I would expect some type of boot or naked to get Grosel on the move.
Well, you called it. Looking for the end zone, has a man knocked free out of the back of the end zone off the hands of Trey Barry. Boykin made a tremendous play. Devin Boykin knocked it away. 2
incredible plays by Boykin in the last 4 plays. First the play on the end cut, and then Trey Barry is wide open. It's a great play call by Frank Signetti. Move the pocket play. Play action, basically fake to the left, roll out to the right, and Barry's open. Got to get the ball to him, and the ball just hangs up a bit. And look at Boykin. Never looks back to the football, but reads the receiver's eyes and hands, and then finishes violently through the football. That's a heck of a play.
Connor Litton on the freshman for a 32-yard field goal attempt. And that is up, and that is no good. He cannot connect. What a play by Boykin. The strong safety saving a touchdown. We're tied 7-7. Well, the BC students are certainly into it tonight, although they should be celebrating a touchdown, I'm sure they all believe. Tremendous breakup on the last play by the strong safety for the Wolfpack, Devin Boykin out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Just a tremendous play.
It was an outstanding play, and then you factor in the missed field goal, and NC State kind of dodges a bullet.
So working from the 20-yard line, Bam Knight tied up. As he pushed it across the 20, he gains 2 on that carry. When they last met, it was 2019 right here on the Hill, and Boston College won that 45-24. A.J. Dillon rushing for 223 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Dave Doran said, look, last time I played there, we got embarrassed. I mean, it sounded like he was bothered by it. It's just kind of uncharacteristic of his tough, hard-nosed football teams to kind of get handled the way they did in that matchup.
Larry on some play action. It's going to be knocked out of the hands of the wide receiver. That was Porter Rooks. Off the hands, busted up by Maitre.
Yeah, Maitre there for the play. Good pressure coming off the edge. Looks like Josh DeBerry coming off the edge, and then Maitre there. That's good, fast, physical defense. And Rooks, Porter Rooks, a player that NC State is really excited about. Ton of upside, speed, talent, dynamic player. But BC, they're ready for it.
Well, Jeff Hapley wanted his crowd. Here at BC, they have shown up. 3rd down 8. Tied 7-7. Leary, time in the pocket, dumps it short. And a completed pass And they're going to pick up yardage there. It's Carter with the carry after the catch, and that's a first down.
And basically what NC State has done is said, look, if you're going to play all this man, we're going to run all these crossing routes. Now it ends up being zone, but the zone is so soft that Leary is basically able to just find Carter right away on a shallow cross, and he's able to run for the first down.
Devin Carter's been a very key target here. Does have a couple of touchdown passes coming into the game. There he gets away from a tackler. Good athletic plays. He slings it for another first down. The catch by Tootle. Christopher Tootle, his first. It goes for 16.
And that play was all out of sorts from the snap. Backs and fakes going the wrong way, and Tootle just a good job of working for his quarterback.
First down 10. Leary once again gets the pass free, hits Bam Knight. Got the nickname Bam from an uncle when Zonovan was just a toddler. He was still in his playpen. Loved to bang his toys incessantly, and his uncle said, all you hear is bam, 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 and it stuck. Fits well on the football field, too.
He plays football, too.
Yes, he does. Very hard-nosed. Second down and 6. Larry 8 for 12, 104 yards and a touchdown so far. Under 4 minutes to go before the break. On the ground again, it's Knight. Knight cutting back inside. Gains some extra. In fact, picks up a 7. Cam Arnold finally wrapping him up.
You know, we mentioned it earlier. They like to run left, and Boston College knows it now. They're getting bodies to the left in the run game. But just like Boston College's running backs, you know, having vision and patience, Bam Knight, you know, doesn't run blind, does a good job there of being patient, being able to cut it back.
The offense has been varied under Tim Beck. Leads the conference in time of possession, 32 minutes per game. They keep the football. A good fake, but it's going to be incomplete. Incomplete pass and intended for Thayer Thomas.
Yeah, Devin Leary's just too slow on the RPO. I think he ends up making a bad decision, and because of that, Valdez is in his lap. You know, if you're quicker with that decision, then Valdez is still trying to decipher run or pass, and the ball can come out and get there to Thayer Thomas, but kind of hesitated on the decision, which allows Valdez to get to him.
Yeah.
That's why the ball was batted.
Got the tip. Knight staying on his feet, still driving. Took a lot of effort to bring him down. A pickup of 2 yards on that carry. Isaiah Graham Mobley, a Temple transfer, leads them with 36 tackles with another stop.
Yeah. Graham Mobley flies around, and you know, you just also are getting great effort, you know, out of the defensive front. I mean, it's Valdez again, and then you know, Boston College has done a good job of teaching their players about punching at the football. Created a bunch of turnovers that way and trying to get it out there on second down.
Key call, 3rd and 8, trying to keep the drive alive. Thomas out to the right. Larry throws, goes short once again, and out close to the 30-yard line. That was Tootle with his second catch on the drive. He will gain 7.
And again, it's crossing routes. Look at these guys just all crossing, trying to get meshes and rubs. And basically what happens is it forces Woodby to run over one of his own guys on top of him, which creates the separation. It's a nice job of having a plan by Tim Beck to attack this press man coverage in a different way.
4th and 1. NC State to go for it. And another timeout. Boston College.
Timeout. Boston College. First of this half.
And coming up on the PNC Bank halftime report with Jordan, Eric, EJ, and the coach, we get you up to date on all of the college football in the ACC today. How about Pitt? And right now controlling the Coastal, and a wild finish in Chapel Hill today.
The Chapel Hill finish was crazy, an interception, you know, to seal it at the end, and then Pitt controlling. Look, we're in Blacksburg. That's a hard environment to go into and win, and Pitt really had control of that game the entire time. That's an impressive performance. You know, really wasn't competitive for much of the game because they were able to get out to an early lead.
A couple of schools we really want to see very soon, Wake Forest and Pitt. Want to get a first-hand look at them in the conference. 10th play of the drive coming up. Bam Knight in the backfield on 4th and 1 for the Wolfpack. Trying to keep this alive inside the last 2 minutes of the first half here at Boston College. And on a handoff, he will get plenty. Zonovan Bam Knight will pick up the first down, a 6-yard gain.
It's a good push by the guys up front. Basically, it ends up being, you know, a zone blocking scheme. You see everybody moving to the right with a kick out coming from the other side. It's Trent Penix kicking out. That's split zone. You know, so you're basically digging out to the right, and then you've got to kick out to the other side. And it's a good job of getting your shoulders inside by person.
And off it'll be Knight again. Knight staying up, still staying up, diving across that 20-yard line for a 7-yard gain. As a Henderson eventually with the tackle. So 2nd down and 3. They continue to move the football. A couple of missed tackles there.
Yeah, and I think that NC State is starting to get into a bit of a rhythm running the football. Their guys up front continuing to come off, and this happened against Louisiana Tech. Didn't run the ball great early on in the football game, but got better as the game went on.
Person to running back, they like to throw to him too. 2nd down and 3, he's going to run it. Big hole, dragging some tacklers with him. Very tough to bring down. He picks up a first down with an 8-yard carry. TJ Ram eventually with the stop, but a first down. And a timeout. 42 seconds to go. And NC State, a strong drive. Boston College. Not allowed a touchdown in the second quarter this season, at least not yet.
Well, they're about to be tried right here. And, you know, with 42 seconds left on the clock, I think there's a lot of options, especially with the timeouts, you know, gone. You know, you've got to be careful in terms of where you throw the football, but you don't have to work the sideline with this type of clock. And, you know, I think with the stoppage of play here could easily be a scenario where you're talking about not just the play you're going to run here, but maybe the next 2 plays and potentially 3 plays that you may end up running.
Yep. NC State has used their timeouts for the half. 42 seconds to go. And a ball spotted at the 11-yard line. And Ricky Person will remain in the backfield with the quarterback, Devin Leary. Out at Timber Creek High School in New Jersey, where he finished as that school's all-time passing leader. In fact, State of New Jersey's all-time passing leader. He's going to roll. He's going to fire through the end zone. And incomplete. Messi was the intended receiver, but he threw it over everybody.
Yeah, it's a smart decision by Leary because it's a rollout. I think they're expecting man coverage. They're expecting the outside corner to chase and then get the corner from the inside receiver open near that back pylon. It's not there. Go ahead and throw it away. Don't waste too much time. There's still a lot at your disposal if you're North Carolina State offensively with more than 30 seconds left.
2nd down 10. Tootle on the move. Larry takes the snap. Looking for that end zone. Finds a receiver. It is caught, and it's going to be fumbled. And they're going to say incomplete. Incomplete. And Messi lost it. And a big-time hit by Maitre.
It's a huge hit by Maitre. Messi looks like he catches the football and starts up the field with it. 2 feet down, secure. I mean, he tucks the football.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
I'm with you, Tim. I thought he had it.
That's a catch and fumble and a recovery by Rom, in my opinion. It's a nice job of Leary He gets through his progression. Mezzi is number 3 in the progression, gets back to him. Mezzi catches the football, gets his shoulders turned to run up the field after tucking it away. I believe that's a catch fumble, which would make the play by Maitre an outstanding play, one rivaling the play that we saw Boykin make on Trey Berry on the other end for North Carolina State.
All the looks that we can show you. And as you said, it looked like he had tucked the football when the hit came and lost it. I certainly thought it was a fumble initially. But they're taking a look. The play is under review. 27 seconds to go in a tie game. Maitre with a massive hit.
It's a massive hit. I mean, Mezzi catches the football and tucks it. So he's already, he's making, kind of multiple football moves to get into the end zone. Yep. We have beautiful looks at it. Our crew is right on it, and I will be surprised if this one is not overturned.
So here it is.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Oh. The play stands. So incomplete. Keith Roden, the replay official. So they see it differently.
I just don't know how you can have a guy catch the football with his hands, tuck it into his body, and that not be considered a catch after he's got 2 feet on the ground and he's headed towards the end zone.
What a big break.
It's a huge break for NC State, but now, on 3rd down here, I think you have to throw this ball into the end zone.
Leary trying to stick it in. Tied 7-7. And whistles again. And a timeout, BC.
Timeout, Boston College. 2nd of the half, 30-second timeout.
So a timeout, some highlights of this drive by the Wolfpack.
Well, it's been pretty impressive. It's the crossing routes that have been big on critical down and distances. That one on 3rd down, and then good adjustment by Tootle, working for his quarterback Leary, and run game starting to come alive as well as the guys up front get movement. And quite honestly, a call that I thought should have gone against NC State. Fortunate that that ball is ruled incomplete. And, after a hot start with the touchdown, they have been struggling, kind of been living in 3rd and longs. But this one pretty impressive, 14 plays. And still an opportunity, obviously, for a shot for a touchdown, but most certainly a chance to kick a field goal before the half.
So once again, the Pack will go with an empty backfield. 3rd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. 3 wideouts to the right. Leary rolling to his left and dives down. Got back to the line of scrimmage. And that was it. Isaiah Graham Mobley with the hit.
Well, it's a good job of coverage down the field, which makes Leary hold the football.
Clock winding down. Dunn getting that one up there. And it was good. He did nail it. And NC State on the board again, 27 yards.
Well, it's a good job of running on the field. Remember, out of timeouts, Leary doesn't get out of bounds. And it's a good kind of mayday situation by NC State for them to run the field goal team off. But Jeff Hafley not happy about it. Still talking to the officials about, potentially the fact that that ball wasn't ruled, a catch fumble. But he's still talking to the officials, which typically, you don't have a coach talking to him that long.
Yeah. Meanwhile, with the clock winding down, NC State got a great job getting done on for a 27-yarder, and they have the lead. BC will get the ball to start the second half. Let's go down to Kelsey.
Coach, for your offense to cash in there after that play was reviewed, what kind of momentum does it give you?
Well, it was good to get that kick. We did a good job executing the Mayday field goal at the end. I'm proud of Chris. I hate that we didn't get a chance to throw it in the end zone right there. It's a good football game. Really good football game.
Defensively, your team has come up with some big stops. What more do you need to see from them in the second half?
Well, we need to stop the run. They've done a good job doing a bunch of different motions we didn't practice and pulling edge defenders out of the box. We need to go make some good adjustments right now.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, his team has been outstanding defensively all season long. And after this short break, Jordan, Eric, EJ, and Mark Richt will come your way. It's the PNC Bank halftime report. The Wolfpack on top of BC. Welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football. It's presented by Geico. And back at Boston College, where NC State has the lead by 3. We look at our Zaxby's first half stats. At 100 rushing yards for BC already, Tim. That's more than NC State typically gives up an entire game.
Yeah, and so somewhat not surprising because BC's good at running the football. They have good backs. And I think this game, Dave, is really what we expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Two tough, disciplined football teams that we're going to be playing physical. That's what we've gotten. I mean, it's been a lot of big hits. We were told, put your mouthpiece in, strap that chin strap, and Pat Garwell basically sent that message early, and it was hits in the secondary too. We saw Boykin for NC State come up with a few. Devin Carter, I think it's been physical, not just in the trenches, but all over this football field, and I think it's kind of what both coaches expected as well. So Boston College, hanging around. I think that gives them confidence in life. They'll get the ball to start the half, obviously. But I think both coaches probably pleased with some of the things they did, and then also plenty of things to clean up as well. One of them for both teams would be staying out of so many third and longs.
There were some damaging penalties as well. And 1 or 2 calls that were very questionable. You could say that's been balanced both ways so far after one half of football here at Chestnut Hill. Great to have you with us. NC State ranked number 22. Boston College unranked. Dave O'Brien, Tim Hasselbeck, and Kelsey Riggs. And so that's going to sail on through, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line a moment ago. Kelsey with Coach Hafley.
Coach Hafley, I know you weren't super pleased with the way that half ended, but what did you say to your team about how you want to see them respond?
I just told our team if they believe they were going to win in the beginning of this game, they should believe even more now. Our defense is playing well. We just got to tackle a little bit better. They haven't stopped us yet. We've stopped ourselves. I mean, this is an unbelievable atmosphere. The students showed up. The place is rocking. They're excited to play. I can't wait.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
One thing he'd love to see is a few more catches because really Grossel's throwing the ball well. There have been a bunch of drops.
Yeah, probably at least 4 drops by my count. And if you think about that, he would be 12 of 15. If guys would have made the catches they should have.
Now opening up the second half on the ground. It is Pat Garwell with the carry. Sevion Jackson stopped them 1-yard gain. Boston College 4-1. The Wolfpack of NC State at 4-1. Both coming off a bye week. And Boston College trying to shake off that rather devastating loss at Death Valley when they had Clemson on the ropes. 2nd down and 9. But that's a tough one to sit on for 2 weeks.
Oh, it is. But I think the coaches did a good job of getting them off of it.
Going to fire this one long, and some contact there as it is broken up. Flowers, the intended receiver, and busted up by Pitts, who's really made some fine plays in the secondary.
Yeah, Pitts has been a really nice player for them. Understands the system, does a good job of running with Zay Flowers, and because Grossell wasn't really able to follow through, he wasn't able to lead Flowers across the field. You see the pressure on him there. Because that ball with Flowers running a post, you want to lead him across the field more than Grossell did.
3rd and 9, little play action. He's going to roll away from the pressure and just loft that one out. There is a flag down on the play. And also a man down, injured for NC State. And that is Tanner Engel, who is writhing in pain. And
Holding, defense, number 24, 10-yard penalty, first down.
They get Pitts for that. But again, Engel, who's such a key guy, that free safety, and in some pain.
In some pain. It's a bad holding penalty by North Carolina State, and to make matters worse, an injury to one of their better defensive players, Tanner Engel.
Ooh, collision there between players. We'll see how long he is out. The Tasmanian Devil, the very tough free safety for the Wolfpack, Tanner Engel, heading for the tent.
You know, I said it earlier, human missile. He's such a big part of what they do defensively. Be a pretty significant loss if he can't return.
After the penalty, first down 10. It's Garwal as he is strung out. And just a yard on that carry. Van with the stop, the nose tackle.
And to go back to the penalty, kind of distracted by the Engel injury. And the reality is Grossel's running for his life. Pitts didn't need to hold. He ends up holding, and it awards Boston College a first down. I mean, it's a big injury, but it was also a really significant penalty by Derek Pitts.
Second down 10 for the Eagles. And on the toss, Garwo tried to double back, which he's done several times tonight, and made some yards after the initial contact. Not now. Jalen Scott stopped him cold.
Jalen Scott is there, and it's a good job of running through by Drake Thomas, forcing Garwo back inside, and then just good pursuit by the Wolfpack defense.
Third down and 10 for Dennis Grossell, who had a 520-yard passing game last year against Virginia. So he can pile up yards, assuming they're going to be caught. With the drops so far in this one, that's been a problem. A completed pass here to Jalen Gill. And stacked up again him 6 yards. And again, it's Pitts up to say hi.
NC State just plays soft, keeping everything in front of them. Pitts does a nice job of wrapping up, making the tackle, and now all of a sudden that penalty on the 3rd and long makes up for it.
Let's go down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, Tanner Engel is still in the medical tent right now. It looked like he was limping on his right leg on his way in. I'm told that it is a quad bruise, and he is expected to return. So good news for this NC State defense.
Very good news indeed. Thanks, Kels. And the punt is going to be fumbled. They dropped it. NC State scooping it up. And that is going to be Boykin. Boykin scoops it up, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown for the Wolfpack. A scoop and score for NC State. Like Boykin has had a big night already.
I was just about to say, Boykin has been outstanding, and Grant Carlson just drops the football. Nothing wrong with the snap. The protection's there, and Carlson just mishandles it. And then Boykin does a nice job of picking it up, staying on his feet, and we've seen 2 huge hits from Boykin. Great play in the back of the end zone, and then a scoop and score.
And he's got the bone as well. Tony Gibson, defensive coordinator, bringing that out for tenacious, relentless defense. And when they recover a fumble or an interception, they get to sign that bone. They're going to see if he was down or not. They're going to take a look here. That looked like it was free. Never saw knee go down. And Boykin, not even close. Off to the races.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even close to being down. It's actually a great job because, the instinct in the pile like that is to fall on it. He just scoops it up, and half of the Boston College punt team's covering a punt because it took a while for Carlson to kind of lose the football and then for it to be recovered. And you're right, how about Boykin? The night that he's had.
Yep, the freshman out of Greensboro, North Carolina, 5'10", $185. He has broken up what looked to be a certain touchdown catch in the end zone by slapping it out of the hands of the tight end Trey Barry in the first half. Now he scoops up the fumble and runs it in.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
So a touchdown
He's a guy who came into the game with 7 tackles on the season and has had 3 huge plays so far tonight.
So Dunn on for the extra point. He came in needing 8 points to become NC State's all-time leading scorer. And a point after is good.
The Wolfpack finding some exciting ways to get on the board tonight. And this one, no different. Devin Boykin with a scoop and score on special teams.
ACC Network Primetime Football, presented by Geico, is brought to you by new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Try the best combo ever today.
The Boston College men's hockey team knocked off Northeastern last night 5-3. It was their home opener. 20 years ago, BC defeated North Dakota in overtime to win the NCAA National Championship in 01. Earlier tonight, they were honored right here at Alumni Stadium. It was the program's second of 5 national titles.
Obviously an excellent hockey program. Brian Gianta right there in the middle with the hoodie. Long, decorated NHL career.
Speaking of which, the Bruins are underway. Their season has started. Red Sox knocked off the Houston Astros in the ALCS Game 2 in Houston. Won that handily, so Game 3 will be at Fenway Park on Monday. This is a great place if you are a sports fan and you have a wide variety of choices, and Boston College is trying to be somewhere in that picture.
And for much of this game have been hanging in here with NC State, but really a bad sequence when you think about giving up 3 before the half and then a fumbled punt that turns into a score. Really put themselves in a hole.
Great news for NC State. Tanner Engel is back. Receiver open and downfield. Got a flag on the play, but the catch is going to be made by Luchetti, the tight end. A flag was dropped. 11:55 to go here in the third.
I think it's going to be a hold on Jalen Scott, the linebacker, on Zay Flowers.
Holding, defense, penalties decline, results of the play, first down.
30 yards.
It's a play similar to the one they ran down in the end zone where Boykin was able to knock the football out. Just play action, tight end to the corner, and it's really well thrown right over Tanner Engel, who is back in the game after that thigh bruise.
NC State getting a giant play. Devin Boykin, the freshman, strong safeties, had a great night already. Winding up to throw, Grossell has a receiver and overthrows Flowers, not by much. And nearly had a big strike there, but incomplete. The coverage by Harris.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have these. Zay Flowers going to end up running to the post, and they're clearing it out from the other side. We saw it earlier on a post. Does a good job of stemming him up, gets past the free safety. We saw it twice against Clemson where Zay Flowers is running free, and they don't miss him. It's a long foul ball. You need to let your receivers have an opportunity to get their hands on the football when they're wide open down the field, which Flowers was there.
2nd and 10 from the 45 of the pack. Garwo trying to run, stacked up. They found him quickly. Josh Harris, the defensive end, with the tackle, a 2-yard gain.
I think the thing that's surprising is Frank Cignetti, offensive coordinator for BC, has done an amazing job of dialing up shots to get Zay Flowers the ball. I mean, Dave Doran's recognized Zay Flowers as a guy that he's just a really good football player. He's got a ton of speed. But if you're not getting him the ball down the field, then it almost doesn't matter.
3rd down 8 for the Eagles. Time to throw, and that's broken up, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Moore. Intercepted by the Wolfpack. Another Boston College turnover. And Moore, the junior from Chester, Virginia, who's had a terrific career, adds to it here.
Yeah, good things happen when you run to the football. It's a slant, and the ball is high. And the coaching point guys will say, hey, well, look, it touched his hands. He should catch it. And I'm sure that's what receiver coaches are saying. But when you have a guy running an in-breaking route and he's reaching for the ball over his head, they don't typically catch those. In fact, those turn into tips and interceptions, and it's just great hustle to the football where good things happen for the Wolfpack defense.
And another signature for the bone for the Wolfpack. And so now Leary trying to turn that into points. Has Knight in the backfield. He's going to throw instead short. And Mezzi trying to get away. Heading to the 50-yard line. And dragged out by Elijah Jones, but he's going to gain 12 and pick up the first, so they will move the sticks. Mezzi came in 2 catches away from the all-time record at the school for receptions. He has tied it now. And you know they're dying to get him that record.
Well, he'd rather tie it on one where he doesn't catch it and then fumble it. That's a better one to tie it on, and it's an impressive record when you consider some of the outstanding receivers that have played for NC State.
Wolfpack off the turnover. There he's going to get out of there, crossing the 50. He'll slide down. So that play breaking down. He'll gain 1 yard.
And you know, that looks like, oh, hey, that's a bad play. But that's a great play. It's 1st and 10. Your team's rolling. It's covered up. It's drop 8 coverage. They're only rushing 3. Instead of making a bad decision, take off, run with the football, pick up 1. So what? Like, big deal. Like, that's a great play by Devin Leary. And I think it's one of the things that Dave Doran's been so happy about in terms of how he's managed the game so far this year.
They are really, really fond of this kid. He's played under 3 different offensive coordinators and 3 different quarterback coaches. Here's Thomas. He can really run it, and he's chased out of bounds. A huge gainer, Maitrey, chasing him down from behind. He picks up 23 yards.
Yeah, and NC State is basically saying, look, we're going to force you out of playing press man. We're going to run all these crossing routes. We're going to see if you can pass them off. And basically they couldn't. You know, Thomas is running a shallow cross, and Brandon Sebastian gets picked off. It's a huge catch and run. Nice call by Tim Beck.
Bam Knight, the running back. 1st down and 10. NC State pressing the matter on top, 17-7. Under 8:50 to go here in the 3rd at Boston College. Knight to run it. Bit of a hole that closed up, but he pushes and pushes for a little extra. And a 3-yard gain. Isaiah Henderson stops him. So 2nd down and 7.
And in a game like this, it's kind of been, you know, yards have been tough to come by. You know, certainly scoring opportunities. You think about NC State, you know, getting their scores by way of special teams and almost a miraculous catch. Just taking your time, you know, chipping away at it as you see NC State kind of getting to less tempo offensively.
Leary, the sophomore from New Jersey. Good pocket protection, but it's going to be dropped and broken up on the play. He wanted Tootle. He's caught a couple. Came in with just 7 receptions, but 2 touchdown catches this season.
And I've been impressed with Tootle. You know, tight end's kind of been a, you know, not necessarily featured in this offense recently, but he's a really athletic player, a good blocker, and has done a nice job in the passing game, but doesn't hold on to that one.
Yep, freshman, 6'4", 240. 3rd and 7. They put Rooks in motion. There he dumps it. It's Knight. Knight cutting back inside. Still on the feet. Still inside the 5-yard line. Well, that was a determined run. Valdez finally stopped him, but he gains 17 as a little bit of rain begins to fall again.
Yeah, it's a screen to the right as they get the big fellas out in space. And, you know, you mentioned a determined run. It was that. Good physical finish.
So that'll bring up 1st and goal for the Pack. We'll see if Knight gets another touch right now. Coming up on 7 minutes to go in the 3rd. Leary fires for the end zone, and it will be a touchdown. Touchdown, NC State. Dylan Parham, the tight end. And shaken up on the play. The man who made the touchdown catch And now they're going to say
And
incomplete.
that play is under further review.
They're going to take a look at it. Well, the signal was there for a touchdown. It gets twisted, and the ball does come free in the end zone.
I mean, that's a touchdown catch. I don't think they have to look at this long. This is a touchdown catch. Parham catches it.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
down
No question.
in the end zone, and that ball comes out way after it's already a touchdown. And I think, part of the reason it comes out is, man, that right leg kind of trapped underneath him as he gets pulled back. But there's no question that that's a touchdown for NC State.
A good sign here as he is walking freely, makes the catch in the end zone. Should be 6. Leary with a dart, and right through the heart of the Eagles.
I think that's a good way to describe it, as a dart, because it's an RPO, so he's faking the run and deciding not to give it to him, and just good job of changing his arm angle. He's got a little dart throw to Parham, who obviously catches it.
Obviously should be a touchdown. Under review, I'm not exactly sure why, but they are taking a lengthy look at this. Christopher Dunn already on, ready to attempt the point after here for the Wolfpack. And they are taking control of this football game.
After further review, it's a catch and a touchdown.
Touchdown NC State, no doubt about that, as they add to their lead here in the third quarter. And Dunn on for the extra point, the third-year starter. He will stick it. 24-7.
Well, after a nice defensive stop and turnover by the Wolfpack, it's Devin Leary finding Parham in the end zone as the Wolfpack start to pull away.
NC State grabbing this one by the throat, really doing a great job of taking advantage of the turnover to get into the end zone again.
Yeah, it's just been amazing how they have just kind of taken control of this football game in a quick fashion with turnovers and then capitalizing on those turnovers.
So Gill to kick off. And this will come on out to the 25. There have been plenty of Boston College mistakes.
Yeah, mistakes, or at least missed opportunities, to say the least. Look, this ball probably should be caught by Barry. It's a nice play by Boykin, but the missed field goal is a mistake. The dropped punt is a mistake. And, as I think you look at those things, the interception's a mistake as well. It's a bad throw that gets tipped. And so Boston College has opened the door, and to credit North Carolina State, they've capitalized on them.
They sure have. They've walked through it and into the end zone to make it 24-7. So a look of deep concern there on Hapley's face as NC State looks to come out of the city of Boston tonight at 5-1. Grosel with time to do something about that. He gets the pass off to his tight end Luchetti. Big target at 6'5", 250, dragged down by Isaiah Moore. That'll gain 5.
And I think with Grosel, BC is trying to do the things that he does well. Move the pocket plays, get the ball out quickly, not long developing plays. At the same time, you need to be able to attack all areas of the field. And with a weapon like Zay Flowers in your offense, trying to create opportunities for him down the field is something that has to be part of the plan.
They've had a hard time finding him to do a lot of damage in the game. He doubles back right here. Levy straight ahead with that carry. Travis Levy and Tanner Engel. Nice to see him back in the fray with the tackle. Pack, by the way, heading to Miami next Saturday. And on a handoff, that'll be Levy again, and stop them. It's Jakeem Harris. They're going to have to punt it.
Well, BC tries to up-tempo some, and here comes the punt team. Tries to up-tempo on third down, and NC State just brings a bunch of people to the party. because Zion Johnson was pulling. He ends up getting a nice block, I believe, on Drake Thomas, but it was Jakeem Harris and others that arrive at the football.
So Grant Carlson to punt it. A low and bouncing punt now. I'm going to let that continue to roll. And right around the 21, 46 yards as we take a look at our Bojangles Big Bowl moment of tonight's game.
Well, let's not forget about, a Sports Center top 10 that we will definitely see, and that's Devin Carter. The first drive for North Carolina State offensively, just a great job of concentrating on an underthrown ball. Elijah Jones completely loses it, and it's a one-handed catch for Devin Carter on the back of Jones. He's able to carry it into the end zone, so no doubt a big moment for the big play wide receiver.
And now you see it, now you don't.
Yeah.
Boston College clearly assuming the play was dead. First down and 10 for the Pack, trying to continue the pressure here at BC. Person is going to be shoved back by Brandon Barlow, the fifth-year man, who's 6'4", 260. And nothing doing there as we approach the 5-minute mark of the third. At Chestnut Hill, and Dennis Grossell trying to find some answers. Still has time here on his home turf.
Still has time, but something needs to kind of flip the momentum for Boston College for them to fight back into it. I mean, you think 6 minutes left in the second quarter and it's a tie football game, and now all of a sudden, just inside 6 minutes in the third, they're way behind.
Rolling away from the pressure is Leary. Oh, tremendous catch and an opportunity for 6 here. Here's Thomas. Thomas down the side, and nobody's going to catch him. He is into the end zone for 79 yards and a touchdown.
What a play by Drake Thomas. I mean, I think everyone's stunned. It's a crossing route that's happened that's kind of slow developing. Leary doesn't like what he sees, escapes out to the right. In fact, when I saw the ball come out of his hands, I thought it was going to be intercepted. And there, Thomas just basically says, all right, ball's in the air, I'm going to go get it. Two BC defenders run into each other. And there, Thomas, who typically isn't the big play guy, with huge run after the catch for the score.
How about this? As the point is up, and it is good. Thayer Thomas was once drafted as an outfielder by the Boston Red Sox.
Well, if they need someone to play center field, Dave, I mean, look at Thomas, because this ball's thrown into a lot of traffic. It's great concentration. These guys end up running into each other, and then good speed. This is what I mean. You're running crossing routes. They're trying to get a pick or a rub. It ends up being zone coverage, and it's Maitrey and Woodbay. I mean, you can see why I thought it was going to be picked when it left his hands. Because Maitrey is he's really got the better angle to the football. But there, Thomas, just a good job of going up and almost intercepting it from Maitrey. Wow.
Man, has this been impressive. As NC State in party mode already, 4:23 to go in the third, on top 31-7 here on the road at Boston College against a very good football team. And leading at 31-7. Well, Monday night, sure to catch the amazing documentary of the 1990 ACC football season, the year that Virginia and Georgia Tech both spent time at number 1. They played an epic game, Yellow Jackets winning on a last-second field goal that vaulted them into the top spot. Then at the end of the year, saw them share the national title with Colorado. It's a 1-hour special premiering Monday at 7 on the ACC Network. Don't miss it.
I'm excited to see that, and also excited to see Georgia Tech head to Virginia next week, a game that we will get to see live and in person. And we've seen Georgia Tech, saw them with an impressive win over North Carolina, and we've seen Brennan Armstrong throw it all over the field this season.
He's had some huge games. They can pile up points. On the strike, Lewis with the catch, but NC State has scored the last 20 34 points, and they have made BC's head spin.
I mean, they have just jumped all over them, taking advantage of every opportunity, and it's a little bit of what they did a week ago that came out on fire in the second half.
Completed pass, got it off to Levy. So assuming they go on and win this football game, and obviously we haven't even gotten to the end of the third quarter, but the Wolfpack has been immensely impressive here in the second half. It would be a really, really sweet road victory should they pull this one out in the end. We're going to go airborne here, and intended for Flowers. The coverage there clean, and no interference by Battle.
Clean and a great play by Battle. Again, another guy reading the eyes and hands of the receiver. As the eyes get big and the hands go up, Battle doing a good job of sticking that hand in there and knocking it out. And Devin Leary telling the big fellas, like, hey, way to go, because we just had a bit of an explosion here.
Gonna go for it here. Yeah. 4th and short, 4th and 2 for BC. And keeping it on the ground and bowling ahead to pick up the first down. Selling the carry.
It's gotten late early, to your point about, hey, look, we haven't gotten to the fourth quarter, but like this just flipped. This game flipped in a quick way. And, Boston College is not, especially with Dennis Grosel, is not kind of structured to just be in the shotgun throwing it all over the field. They want balance. They want to be able to run the football, and down 31-7 doesn't really cater to that.
1st and 10. Under pressure. Grosel on the run. Looking for that stick. He steps out just short of that. He will gain 8 yards on the play. But should they get it, it would be another victory for NC State that really demands respect. And their coaching staff and Dave Doran will tell you more than the kids are getting. Dave said, I could give a lick about myself. I like being the underdog. I actually love being the underdog. But he feels like his kids are not getting, his players are not getting their due respect.
And sometimes that's just coach speak to motivate your football team, but I believe it to be true. I think Dave Doran likes being kind of the underdog. I think he coaches that way. I think it's why he has a tough physical football team. There's a bit of a chip on his shoulder and his team's shoulder. But I also can agree with that. Look, like, you beat Clemson, something that teams in this conference have not done for a long time. You're 4-1, maybe 5-1 after going on the road and playing a tough physical Boston College team. And look, at this point, running away with the football game.
And I don't think it's just the victory over Clemson and everything inherent at that. It's the way they won that football game. It was an absolute thriller in double overtime, and a game they could have lost on multiple occasions. They pulled it out in the end. And you talk about a valuable win for your program. You can go and recruit immediately on that.
Well, and it sounds like they have, and rightfully so, in the state of North Carolina. Look, I think it's a great point by you, Dave, because the adversity that they faced in that game, it would have been easy to say, oh, well, here we go, it's Clemson. Here they go again, and they didn't.
I'm bringing out the chains here. And just inches shy of a first down. And we have 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the third. 31-7 NC State just grabbing hold of this one. Now some light rain again here in Boston.
When BC went with a quarterback sneak on the last 4th down and really got a ton of movement, had no problem getting it, would surprise me if they didn't just go back to it.
Grosel on the center, flags down as he went ahead. The flags falling with 1 minute 42 to go in the third. This, by the way, would be Dave Doran's 60th victory at NC State, should he pull it out tonight.
Delay of game, defense, number 1, disconcerting signals, 5-yard penalty. That foul will result in a first down.
Yeah, basically Isaiah Moore, you look at him maybe making it sound like He's simulating a snap count. And to be honest with you, from that look behind, it's a play that's not called, but the officials seem pretty sure about it with the way they're talking to Isaiah Moore.
Jumped all over it. That results in a first down. 1st and 10, right at midfield. They'll throw short and a big hit there, and incomplete. And once again, Moore, who has been a terror. 6'2", 235-pound junior.
I think taking out some of the aggression from the penalty.
Yes.
On Levy. He's coming across the middle.
A disconcerting hit.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Big time. 2nd down 10. And another incompletion intended for Barry.
And the rain's coming down right now. We've seen a couple of these. We saw it on the slant that was intercepted. We saw it on, that throw to Levy, that throw to Barry. Dennis Grosel has just been inaccurate with the football in these conditions, and it's been a challenge.
Well, it's been in the forecast all week, so teams were going through their drills with a wet football. And a lot of teams don't want to overdo that. You don't want to put it in anybody's head that, this might be a huge problem come Saturday night. But you do want to be ready for it. Grosel back, time to throw, and incomplete once again. Just can't get it done with a passing game intended for Galloway, the wide receiver.
And again, it's these conditions, the way the team is structured to be, throw with, coverage on the back end by North Carolina State, expecting it is not how BC is structured. And, Dave, back to your point about practicing with a wet ball, you're right, you don't want to overdo it. The other aspect of it is some guys just aren't good at throwing a wet ball.
That'll roll on into the end zone. 49-yard kick. It hasn't been what you'd call a huge nuisance tonight, at least not yet. I don't want to tempt fate here. But this has been in the forecast. In fact, some were anticipating a real heavy shower at some point tonight. We have not seen that, thankfully. 1:16 left in the third, and all Wolfpack here leading 31-7.
I would have actually preferred a soaking wet football than a ball that's just kind of wet.
Really?
Oh yeah, because you're getting just a wet, heavy ball if it's just pouring rain. But if it's rain, they've dried it with a towel. Oh, but wait, no, it is really wet. I always hated that.
Flag down.
False start. Offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on a running back person. Brings up first down and 15. You made a great point about Dave Dorn a couple of weeks ago about he's got 21 players who've been drafted into the NFL since he has taken over this program, and he's done an amazing job of taking recruits who might come in at one position, plays them a while, lets some of those guys see the light. He switches them to another position, which they then excel at, and boom, they're off to the races. He's done it often in his career.
He's done it often. Guys have turned into great players, and maybe it's his own personal experience. He's a guy that had been a tight end. He played linebacker, and so you get moved around. You understand what that feeling is like, and I think he's also got a nice way about him too, where he kind of put his arm around the guy and be like, look, playing is better than watching, and moving to this position may end up helping our football team and you. And guys have bought in and had really nice careers at positions they weren't necessarily recruited to play.
You're right. Dave gets them to buy in. 2nd down 15. Handoff once again. Person trying to scoot inside and stacked up, staying on his feet for quite a while. A 4-yard gain. And the final seconds ticking away here in the third. NC State capitalizing on turnovers, playing stout defense, making big plays here in the second half. And Leary leading them. That'll be the end of the third here at BC. We are on to the fourth quarter. And the Wolfpack enjoying life here in the Northeast tonight. Rain or not, leading at 31-7 after 3. NC State with a 21-point third quarter explosion. They lead at 31-7. Be sure to stick around after the game for the huddle. Jordan, Eric, EJ, and Mark will join you for a complete breakdown of all the ACC games today. That's tonight after we wrap things up on the ACC network and also the ESPN app. So the Wolfpack with the football. And that means Leary back to work. He's going to rifle another pass to the near sideline and caught by Rooks. And ahead for a couple of more. He'll gain 8. So we are underway here in the fourth. And all Wolfpack here at Boston College.
Really has been, and it's been an impressive, response to what was a really physical, tight football game. And Dave Dorn, at halftime talking about, look, this is a really good football game. It's tight, it's physical. And then you said it, explosion. That's the right word because that's what happened.
Hill gets the wobbly punt up high. Levy will let that bounce. Now keep on rolling. And right around the 20-yard line for 52 yards. That kick. Take a look at tonight's running back spotlight brought to you by Arby's.
Well, Pat Garwo got off to a really impressive first half. I mean, we saw the first half, big runs, nearly 50 yards and averaging nearly 7 yards per carry. But the second half has been a completely different story. Dave Dorn talked about at halftime that there were some motions that removed some of their edge defenders from the run game. Clearly, the adjustment has been made in the second half, and it's really held the BC run game in check.
Garwell, the sophomore out of Pennsylvania, on the sideline at the moment. They bring on Alex Sinkfield as the running back. First and 10. BC beginning this drive, trying to make some points out of it. And Grossell wants to throw, stepping up in the pocket. And completed to Gill. Gill with a rolling catch for 19 yards.
BC's going to have to go tempo. And I think they're actually better off kind of running something similar to their offense. We saw a hard play action on first down there. Do that stuff rather than getting in the shotgun and doing other things.
Zay Flowers and scooting up across the 40-yard line with a stop by Isaiah Moore. He's made a lot of them again tonight. That's a 3-yard gain.
Isaiah Moore has really been all over the field. And NC State loved their linebackers coming into the season. Obviously, the Peyton Wilson injury was rough.
Big time pressure thrown up for grabs and almost picked off. And that was Devin Boykin who got a hand on that pass, who's had a tremendous night.
Yeah, and Grossell gets blasted again by Isaiah Moore, who's been all over the field. Good clean hit on Grossell, and once again trying to find Zay Flowers down the field, but there's not anywhere where he can go make a play on it. Look, he's fast. He also does a nice job of going up and fighting for the football, but the NC State defense has done an excellent job of rushing Grossell on some of those throws down the field.
Working with an empty backfield here, and now comes Travis Levy. On 3rd down 6, he's running, and he's going to be tackled. And another play by Conte there. Nose tackle, and that's going to lose 4 yards for BC.
That's Conte, coming this side, and he just beats Conley, who's in for Tyler Vrabel at left tackle. It's a good job of winning with his hands and turning the corner and enough speed to run Grossell down.
4th down 10, keeping the offense on the field here, and the rain coming harder. It's the hardest, certainly it has rained the entire evening here in Boston. 12:35 to go in the contest. Grossell, time to throw this time. Dumps that one over the middle. And got it close. Johnson able to make the catch. He's going to pick up 9 yards. We're going to be short of the first down with 12:25 remaining. We will take the break. NC State up big, 31-7.
Well, the rain really starting to come down here at Boston College as NC State has a big lead, but look who is sticking it out. It is the 30-plus family members from NC State quarterback Devin Leary. Lives not too far away in New Jersey, as you see them with a little trickeration here. His family was really excited to come down, you guys. As I said, lives not too far away, and this is a guy that means a whole lot to this NC State program. They call him Jersey Strong. We know what he went through last year, coming back from that devastating knee injury and being able to battle back and be with this team this year. His family probably feels like it's pretty Jersey Strong, too, sitting out here in this rain, guys. I can tell you, it's not coming down lightly.
No, it's really picked up in the last 10 minutes, Kels. Like we have to tell you. You're standing in it. We're in the booth. We're covered. We're fine. But, you know, hey, you travel 330 miles, pay for the tickets, you're going to stick it out.
And not surprised he has so many people showing up. And 3 games coming into this contest. And then the game tonight, he's thrown 12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I mean, Devin Leary has been balling. He's been playing great. Obviously some help from Devin Carter on the first one, but a good job of changing his arm angle on the one to Parham, and then finding Thayer Thomas does an excellent job adjusting to the football. But Devin Leary has managed the game well. He's made enough big plays, and I thought it was interesting to hear Dave Doran say, you know, in that Clemson game, he had 8 throwaways. And, you know, those don't make the Sports Center top 10. But what they do is help you, you know, from being in a bad situation defensively. And he's played great.
Block in the back here, penalty. And by the way, his brother, Donovan, also a standout quarterback there in New Jersey, same high school. And he's committed to Illinois. So outstanding quarterback play. That's a family matter. He's going to reverse it and slide down. As we approach 11 minutes to go here at rainy Boston College. But the Wolfpack could care less. They are cruising here. Man, did this game flip on its head in about 5 minutes, it felt like.
Well, speaking of things on your head, what about that umbrella? Yeah, it did. It absolutely did. I mean, we were really, you know, nearly at 7-7 going into halftime. It's 10-7 going into halftime, and you think, all right, Boston College is going to get the football back, and then that fumbled punt just opened the floodgate.
3rd down, 17 for the Pack. And Knight with a carry again, finds a hole across the 50, still churning ahead. So tough to drag down on that first hit. He'll get 7 of those back. And stopped by Josh DeBerry at cornerback for BC. And an injured player for Boston College. That is Valdez. And he's upset. Marcus Valdez, that's a huge guy in terms of value to the BC defense, the defensive end. 260-pound grad. So Gill back to punt. And Levy looking for the fair catch. The first down and 10 here for Boston College, trailing 31-7.
ACC Network Primetime Football is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
Well, BC fans not too happy with the weather or their play on the field right now, but we'll take a look at our MVP of the game, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Well, and it's Isaiah Moore. He has been absolutely everywhere. Described to us as the heartbeat of the Wolfpack defense. And I mean, quarterback hits, interceptions, tackle for loss, the bone. He's had it all tonight.
One of the best in the ACC, and he gives no quarter. Every play is like life and death for him. Levy takes a pretty good hit. And for more on him, let's toss it down to Kelsey.
Well, I got to talk with one of the guys who plays right beside him, and that's Drake Thomas, about what Isaiah Moore not only means to this team, but means to him. He classified him as a great leader, said he's vocal, and he said he's learned so much from playing alongside Isaiah that he could never thank him enough. Another guy he really leaned on, of course, was Peyton Wilson, no longer with them, but these guys all very close.
Well, first down here for Boston College. A completed pass to Jalen Gill for 18 yards.
Yeah, we saw it NC State at the start of the season, and with Peyton Wilson. So you went Peyton Wilson, Isaiah Moore, Drake Thomas. Maybe hard to find a better linebacking crew in the ACC, maybe even college football. Obviously, no Peyton Wilson's a big loss.
And Grossell will go down again, sacked on the play by Vi Jones. Guy who blocked 3 kicks last year. That'll cost him 5 yards.
Well, he's another guy. Levi Jones, Vi Jones, another guy.
Kelsey Riggs is certainly an MVP as well for us, always. Riggsy, as we like to call her. Another one darted in there, and a completed pass to Galloway. Just keeps on trucking, you know.
Guys, I'm having a really good time down here in the rain. Can you tell? How are you guys doing out there dry?
Kelsey, you look like you're having the time of your life.
I'm so happy.
She's saying, can someone just get me a towel, for crying out loud?
I wore these leather pants to see if the rain would fall right off of them. I've got this rain jacket. All my papers are sticking together. Things are really good. I'm happy. We're here, guys. You know, it's a good day.
Tim and I rarely complain about what we wear in weather. You're in a different category, and certainly the best of luck to you.
Yeah, if you guys, I think we have a little bit of time. I'm happy to run up to the booth really quick and tag one of you guys in if you want to switch places for the last 7 minutes.
I'd love to, but we're running short on time. Kels, thank you very much. And off the fingertips of Isaiah Moore, nearly had another pick here.
This was almost an outstanding play by Isaiah Moore. I mean, it was an outstanding play, but almost an outstanding interception. Kind of comes out of nowhere. Almost able to grab that one. And let's be honest, Kelsey's down in the rain, Dave, not complaining. You were saying it was a little too muggy in the booth.
I did, actually.
You were like requesting like 2 degrees different.
There was a point here. This is a good sign. Looks like it's starting to break up, but there was a torrential rain about an hour ago, and I was complaining about how muggy it was, which I'm not proud of that moment at all. Grossell will fire downfield, broken up, almost picked off again, but it falls incomplete. Intended for Lewis Bond, the wide receiver.
Just seeing some of these guys out here now, up 31-7. Isaiah Moore, Tyler Baker Williams right there on the play. They got some playmakers defensively. Not necessarily any superstars on their defense, but guys that play well together, a veteran group, and kind of everyone just doing their role well.
Well, there's no question about that. And they've been at the very top statistically in the ACC all season long. Complete to Bond. He'll make the catch. Right around midfield here for BC. And stopped by Tyler Baker Williams, but a 7-yard gain. As we approach 7 minutes to go. 4th down and 4. And Grossell soaked himself. We'll fire that one down into the turf. That got away just a bit. 6:58 to go. NC State leading it 31-7 here at BC. Sunday afternoon, ACC Network has a women's volleyball soccer doubleheader. 1 Eastern. 4th-ranked Pitt is at Tallahassee to take on FSU in volleyball. Then it's off to Charlottesville for a top 20 soccer matchup between number 17 Notre Dame and number 2 Virginia. Both games also on the ESPN app. Under 7 minutes to go. What's turned into a blowout for the Wolfpack. And Leary staying in. Jordan Houston also getting the opportunity to maybe handle the ball a little bit. Quarterback will be taken down around the 40. I should say it's Houston. And De Palma with the tackle on Houston.
What's interesting is we've seen so much Ricky Person and Bam Knight, but Jordan Houston as a young player really exciting player. Different style of back, more of a speed player, but good in the passing game as a receiver, move him around, jet sweep. We haven't seen a ton of him, but I think it's mainly because, they're so happy with Person and Bam Knight, but they have a stable of backs.
1st and 10 from the 40. Mezzi will haul that one in. A stop by DeBerry, but that is the school record for receptions. He is number 1 all time now at NC State.
And this seems like it was done intentionally for the record, which, for the record, I absolutely love. A guy who's been a great player, 203 career receptions. You just think of guys, Corin Robinson, Torrey Holt, guys that have been just incredible wide receivers that have come through this program.
Yep, and now steps out with the record. He took advantage of that extra year granted by the NCAA due to the pandemic, and that's paid off. As for a lot of guys, Houston another carry. And congratulations. Getting a lot of love from his teammates. Very popular guy.
He is, and he was a good player right when he came to NC State. And then he kind of got injured, and I think he struggled with some confidence and wasn't the player, I think, for part of his career that he expected to be. And it was interesting talking to the coaches at the start of the season, saying, as you see him smiling, it's just good to see him smiling again, having fun, being confident, because he is a very good player when he's playing with confidence.
Native of North Carolina, came in as their top guy. And it's Houston on the carry. He'll dive ahead and pick up 5 yards. Jordan Houston, sophomore. So NC State just about 4.5 minutes away from going to 5-1 on the season. This is obviously a very important win. They're coming off a bye week. They're heading to Miami next.
And I would think that that's a game that they feel pretty good about with what we've seen from Miami. And it isn't until November 13th that they would go to Wake Forest and obviously play a rolling Wake Forest team. But I think North Carolina State.
Timeout. NC State, first of this half.
With 3:52 to go. Mezzi with the career catch here tonight. He has the record, and his head coach very, very appreciative of a great career. Emeka getting a lot of love for setting the career receptions record at NC State.
Passing a very good player in Jalen Samuels, a guy who's a running back, tight end type of player that caught a lot of balls right around the line of scrimmage. And what Emezi has done is much more of his work down the field. Some love from his teammates, and rightfully deserved.
So the Wolfpack to punt here. End over end. They will let that bounce, and well done right at the 1 yard line. It's been quite a month for NC State going back to that great win over Clemson.
For the win. He missed it. Pulled it left again. Has tons of time into the end zone. Caught. DJ into the end zone. Incomplete. NC State rides on the strength of the pack.
And going to be tackled in the end zone. A safety. And the great defensive stops continue for the Wolfpack as they add on a couple of more points. 33-7. I mean, that victory is the kind of win that will stick for a long, long time, not just in a season, but for that program.
Oh, absolutely for the program, because, what it did was kind of just brought to light kind of just put North Carolina State, at a level and being able to do something that teams in the conference hadn't been able to do. It was like it validated a lot of what Dave Doran has been building on. And I've talked a lot about when we've had NC State games and how impressed I've been by the talent that's been on the teams that we've covered. Guys that go play in the pros. And I think that they do a really nice job of developing players to get them prepared to go play at the next level. But a win like that against a team in your area was so significant with the success that they had. And I think that's why they, as Dave Doran said, they all really enjoyed the win for a while.
Yes, he had emphasis on that. That meant everybody in town, but also the coaching staff, every player, all the parents, everyone related to every player.
Yeah.
And, even when he did the post-game interview, and then beyond that, smoking that cigar, why not?
You think the Red Solo Cup? And he said the bye week, first off, he said he was more nervous for Louisiana Tech than he was Clemson because I think they were having a lot of fun. And so I think recovering and getting ready for the Louisiana Tech game was maybe a bit of a task.
Yes.
I think they were emotionally drained after.
He said they really could have used the bye week then more than.
I'm sure they could have.
Last week. Well, the new quarterback is going to be Ben Finley, who is the brother of Ryan, of course, who started NC State, drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to hand off for Houston, finds some open room to run as he goes off to the sideline. And a flag down, but a nice gain here of 16 yards by Jordan Houston.
You can see why Jordan Houston, we've seen.
Holding by the offense, number 84, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jordan Houston's a guy that they used to sprinkle in a little bit. I mean, he's got so much quickness, and kind of just giddy up that it's a nice little change of pace with their other backs.
Yeah.
This kind of goes back to the point about talent here, though, Dave, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just back after back after back. And Ryan Finley, who, as you mentioned, Ben Finley, Ryan's younger brother, was a highly recruited player out of Arizona and played some as a true freshman. And there's definitely some upside with him at the position as well.
Ryan Finley, number 2 all-time in passing yards at NC State. And he'll take it again. Houston with another carry. We talk about Leary being so steady and he just doesn't make mistakes. And he has a very talented wide receiver room. We saw one of the great catches you will see in the ACC all year tonight by Devin Carter with that incredible grab, drawing the football around the back and the side of his defender and racing into the end zone. And frankly, Boston College was dumbfounded. So are we.
Elijah Jones, I think thought the ball was incomplete. And so, and then you have another, opposite him, you've got a receiver that's, has 203 career receptions. You've got a guy that plays in the slot that been drafted by the Red Sox and made a great play tonight. And
this was some catch.
It really was. And
amazing concentration, as you pointed out.
You almost think that Elijah Jones thought that, okay, I felt it hit my back. It must have fallen to the ground.
Must have hit the ground,
yeah,
right.
Must have hit the ground.
And he can be forgiven for that because you don't think that ball's going to be caught and run into the end zone.
No, you don't at all. But it was, and what a great play. And these receivers are impressive. Carter 6'3", 216, Emezi 6'3", 212. Big physical players. And
first down. And the clock running down to 1:32. NC State piling up 21 points in the third quarter. So if for some reason you left the game just at the point where they ripped off the 21 and ran away and hit in this game, you'd be shocked that it's 33-7 because it actually was a very competitive game to that point.
I mean, Dave Doran at halftime, and I think NC State caught a break going into the half with a call that went in their favor. They're up 3, but they're up 3 with the great catch by Carter is their lone touchdown, and fortunate to get the 3 at the end of the half. So really, in some ways, Boston College had done a nice job on them defensively, but turnovers, both in the kicking game and then throwing the football, proved to be way too much.
Yeah, really a complete effort by the Wolfpack, including right as the clock of the first half was running out, they got the kicking unit on, and as that clock was running down, kicked the 27-yard field goal.
It's a great point. It's a Mayday, situation, and after Leary went down in bounds with no timeouts left, did a good job.
So that'll do it. Leary and company, an impressive win. And number 60 at NC State for Dave Doran. They run away and hide in the second half and win this 33-7.
Yeah, impressive job pulling away.
And into the win column, number 5 for NC State, dropping Boston College to 4-2. Second consecutive loss for the Eagles, so they have a lot of work to do to get back to where they were just a few weeks ago. NC State is rolling, though.
They're rolling. You said it, 5-1, and look, I think they're a good enough football team to win every game the rest of the way. They may do it.
Let's go to Kelsey with Dave Doran.
Coach Doran, this looked like a completely different second half. How were you guys able to flip the script so much in the third quarter?
Oh, the coaches did a nice job at halftime with some adjustments. The kids were determined. We got hot there in the third quarter, got some takeaways. The punt block was a huge spark. It was an awesome play by the guys. I thought we really played a good game.
Defensively, this team was really, really stout. Only gave up 7 points in this entire game. What impressed you the most about their performance?
A lot of guys played. I thought we won the line of scrimmage in the second half. The guys tackled better in the second half, played hard, got a lot of grit. It's an awesome team, man. I got to give the glory to God. And shout out to my beautiful wife, Sarah, back home.
You just have a guy behind you who just set the career receptions record for this program. What has Emeka Emezi meant to NC State?
It's a big deal. I mean, it's such a big deal for him to come back and give us what he has, and proud of him. He's earned it. I know he's going to stay humble and just keep making plays for us.
And then, Coach, finally, before I let you go, you talked a lot about respect that you want this team to have. What does a win like this on the road hopefully say about this team?
I can only control what I control. I hope people will notice they're not picking us, and we're going to keep winning, so keep hating on us, I guess, It's a great team. We're just going to keep going 1 week at a time, and our record will show where we belong.
Coach, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Go Pack.
I think people are going to be listening to him more and more. They really should.
I think they have to. It's a good football team. They've lost one game, and they've been impressive in a lot of their others.
Blowout win here at Boston College, 33-7. The Huddle is coming up. Tim Hasselbeck and Kelsey Riggs. I'm Dave O'Brien. Good night, everybody.